switched out before, so hope everybody's doing okay. I'm gonna take this down so I can see everybody. Okay, 3 o'clock. We got Google Nest here. Going to go over some exciting new products. The new thermostat. We have Jana and Ayaz here from Google Nest, and we're going to get into some, like I said, some new products, integration, the whole Google Nest ecosystem. We're going to start a poll here pretty soon. If you guys can answer those poll questions, we'd appreciate it. And then, of course, we got the Q&A going. We are going to be giving away 2 doses of the new Nest thermostats. We'll probably do that halfway through and at the end. So ask your questions. We're going to pick one of those questions. We're going to award 2 thermostats to. So who we're starting with Jana. Thank you very much, you guys, for joining us. You get 50 points for joining us on the live webinar, and it's going to be recorded, and you'll get 20 points for viewing it, the recorded session. So really appreciate you guys being here.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having us on. My name is Jana Ostakin, and I'm the East Coast Regional Trainer for Google Nest. So I'm super excited to be here. We also have on the call Ayaz. He's our product specialist who's going to be manning the chat. So let's play if you can stump the trainer throughout this webinar. So thank you guys so much once again. And as Mark mentioned, there'll be some giveaways. So this is your time to ask any questions, and all questions, please don't be shy. That's why we're here for. And yeah, we have some exciting topics that we're going to be covering today. So first and foremost, super excited to be introducing the Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to check it out. It's a beautiful piece of equipment that was made with pros in mind, and the pro setup easier than ever before. It's going to automate a lot of the pro ID input and also advanced settings. So throughout this training, the main topics that we're going to cover is going to be that Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen, key selling points, highlights, just overview, and also some technical stuff. Then we're going to go into the Google Nest ecosystem along with updates and how it pertains to you and your business. And then we're going to wrap it up with different benefits of being a Nest Pro and what this channel is about. So moving forward with the Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen. This is going to have a large borderless display that's not only going to be modern and sleek, it's going to also offer a lot more screen real estate. So it has about 60% more surface area than the previous generation. The display itself is a crystal acrylic lens, so great readability, durability, and overall gorgeous look. When you see the product, you're going to see that it's not like flush to the wall as it was before. It's kind of a little bit more out, so it gives out that floating look. So this design is going to bring a really unique and premium look to the device while also enabling it to blend really nicely with the surroundings in the home. We've also evolved how that thermostat sits on the wall as mentioned, and it's quite thin and sleek, and it's going to look like it's floating, a bold new look, and very, very distinctly Nest. The combination of the new hardware and the user experience is going to also enable a lot better and delightful day-to-day experiences with the product. So the features like Farsight is going to be able to show you even more useful info when you need it, and then blend back into the wall when you don't. Farsight is going to allow the customer to choose what information is displayed on the thermostat. The thermostat will then show the relevant information based on how near or someone is to the thermostat itself. You can customize the thermostat as you would a Pixel watch, time, lighting, brightness, and it is also going to come in 3 different elegant finishes. It's going to come in silver, obsidian, and gold. Currently, I'm rocking the gold version. It just blends in better to my home, and the color offers the different customization for the end user just in general. We don't want something clunky on the wall, right? It's 2024. We like it to look modern, sleek, and polished. So the thermostat can be both functional and a pleasing addition to the home itself. The Pro SKU is going to be available for our polished silver model. What this means when I say Pro SKU is that the Pro SKU model is going to have a QR code on the actual box itself where it links to the Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen's Pro Install Guide, which is like a 90, 100 page installation, nitty gritty, all the technical stuff. So besides that, You can offer all 3 different colors, but when we call out the Pro SKU, it's more relevant to the boxing portion of it. And that's so that when you're in the field, if you ever need any help, it's just one QR scan code away. What I'm really proud of for Google in general, they've really worked really hard in order to enhance the pros experience. Never have I seen this company work so diligently and actually do the work to enhance the pro experience as they did with this stat. So we've worked closely with our product team in order to make sure that this thermostat had the features that pros were asking for, with all the feedback that we've gathered from the field throughout the years, more than any other previous thermostat, to make sure that the install process is great and just seamless for the pros itself. For instance, one of the many experience enhancing features is going to be that the installer no longer has to worry about having the customer's Wi-Fi password or the customer's phone. The pros can install it, get paid, and get out. The install process is going to be super smooth and fast, and it makes for a tremendous RNC product. We also delivered on a bunch of new features that help pros really dial into the efficiencies of the equipment if needed. The good news today is that we've also enhanced the homeowner's experience. So Google has done this by making all of these cool features a lot more transparent, predictable, and therefore more understandable. So we're really trying to lessen that learning curve when it comes to utilizing the app and the product to its full capability. So Google's making it super understandable, clear, and a great experience for not only the installer, but also the homeowner as well. Seamless and enjoyable for all parties involved with this stat. We literally took years of channel feedback into account. We interviewed different contractors and wholesaler partners, identified pain points, and also gathered a lot of information from our field sales team. And we consolidated feedback in order to make the recommendations for both the installation aspect of it, feature, and also hardware of the new product. We also had a trusted tester program, which allowed select pros to be able to get some early access to test the thermostat before general availability to make sure that, yes, this is what they wanted. Because of that feedback we received from pros, we improved the user experience and the intelligence on the device, which improved smart schedule. So previously, you may have known this as auto schedule, along with adaptive eco, which is going to add a smarter way to save energy when not in the home. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next couple of slides. We included features like natural heating and cooling and adaptive comfort in order to utilize more than just the temperature for comfort itself inside. The new hardware is going to also have more compatibility with more terminals, and it's going to unlock things like the ventilation. We also introduced advanced settings, should you need it, to fine-tune the system if it's necessary. So it's optional. It allows you to configure the thermostat to be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. The power sharing is also a lot more improved. So if you're not using a common wire or power connector, that's also going to be a great add-on to the hardware improvements that we've made. So talking about pro-specific items. So the pro setup flow is going to provide the most efficient install process with more control than ever before. If any of you are familiar with the previous Nest thermostat, the one that's more of a mirrored finished, that was more for an entry-level one, that one also has the pro setup flow, but we've made it even easier where if you input your Nest Pro ID once, it's going to automatically remember and input them for future install as well. We also have that Pro SKU box, which is going to have the QR code and access to our comprehensive Pro installation guides, and we've made it a lot more visible from the Google's end for technical information as well. The new backplate is going to have more terminals. So previously with the previous generation Nest 13 thermostat, we had 10 terminals. This current one is going to have 12. So it allows it to be compatible with more complex systems. Also, the setup flow is going to have a power and system test to make sure that the thermostat is receiving sufficient power, which is going to give you the confidence that it's going to perform reliably for both you and your customers. What's in the box? Everything that you need is going to come right in the box. So it's going to come with a trim kit, electrical box adapter, an updated backplate featuring that 12 terminals, and the new and improved temperature sensor. So this is the first time ever that we're including a sensor with the thermostat itself. So super exciting. So this is for those homes that either, they might want to have the thermostat running off of another room, or they might want to average throughout the house. It's for the thermostat to run off of should they want to or need it. So we're going to further discuss the sensor capabilities more in the session later, but that's what's in the box as of right now. Going back to the Pro setup, it's going to enable that technician to install the thermostat on their own phone without needing the homeowner's phone. The technician has their own Google Home app account and can set up and configure the device. And once complete, the customer will finish the install process and get a detailed feature walkthrough on their own app. A technician doesn't need to ask the customer's phone at any point in the process, as long as they make sure to select that Pro setup when reaching the setup screen. So the technician's going to use their own phone, their own Google Home app, their own Google Home account. It can be based on a work email or a personal email, whatever it might be. If they select Pro setup, that thermostat is not going to go onto their Google Home account after it's installed. It's not even visible after the installation finishes. So it's a lot more seamless. And then the customer themselves go through the walkthrough of more like the features, and if they want home or away schedules on their own phone. So it's a great way for everyone to be happy, basically. So the Nest Pro ID that I mentioned is going to be a key into unlocking the benefits of the Pro program. So inputting that Nest Pro ID is going to enable you to automatically earn Pro reward points. It can tie the thermostat to a Pro company and keep them digitally connected through HVAC monitoring alerts if you opt in. You also get to have extended warranties, which for customers is huge, right? Being able to say, hey, I'm able to give you a 3-year extended warranty on this product if you get it from me, and I do it as a professional. A lot of customers tend to see a lot more value in that, right? So that's also going to be enabled with our Nest Pro program. This also is going to help speed up a lot of different things when you input that Nest Pro ID, because once again, it pre-populates it on future installs. So if you're not signed up to be a Nest Pro currently, we'll walk you through later. It's at no cost to you. It doesn't cost any subscription, hardware, labor, any of that. It's literally like takes 5 minutes. So we'll talk about that for those that are interested. Within the Pro setup, we've also added a number of advanced settings that I mentioned earlier. This gives the Pro more control to make sure that the thermostat is optimized for the system that they're installing, such as inverter-driven units. We also offer custom heat pump settings, allowing the Pro to configure auxiliary heat upstage timer, droop, minimum delay, and a bunch of others. Once again, this advanced configuration setting is optional. So if you want to bypass and you're like, I just want to go default as to what Google Nest has set up, you can bypass this. It is optional. It is for those that do want to fine tune it for specific equipment. The contractor can also configure the cycle times, which includes the compressor lockout time, minimum compressor lockout time, and minimum heat on time. So some of the options that fall under adaptive control include heat temperature difference, cool temperature difference, and cool to dry setting. Cool to dry setting is one that is close to my heart because I live in Miami. So and this is a feature that's used to control humidity if you have an AC integrated dehumidifier, but it can also enable to help dehumidify the home by running the cooling system even if you don't have an integrated dehumidifier. So this is more of a comfort focused feature and will overcool the home, and it might cause more increased energy usage, but the goal of it is to try to drop that target humidity. Sometimes it might not reach that target humidity before stopping if it's just too much of a big bandwidth. But within the advanced settings, the contractor can adjust the overcooling limit, the humidity threshold, and minimum indoor temperature if needed. When it comes to the power requirements of the new Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen, this actually uses less power than previous Nest thermostats. So keep in mind also, The Nest Learning Thermostat 3rd Gen is like a 12-year-old product, right? So it's super exciting to see that this is a lot more new and improved, and these requirements and updates also reflect that. It's going to also have the updated power sharing capabilities if you're not using a common or power connector. We always do recommend using a common wire when it's available. The reason being, the Nest Learning thermostats have an internal battery, right? So it needs to be able to charge that internal battery. And the best way that it does that in a constant way is to have that common wire, which is giving it a consistent source of power to charge the internal battery. So make sure that if a common wire is available, install it, just future-proof it. And in the case that there is no power, common wire, for example, you can use our power connector, which is basically making a wire between the thermostat and the zoner furnace board. So to make sure that it's reliable and consistent, or if there's a system that's sensitive to power sharing, use that Nest power connector. The Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen, as mentioned, is going to be compatible with more systems due to the additional terminals. So it's up to 3 heat, 2 cool on a conventional system, and also 2 stages of heat pump heating and cooling, 1 stage of auxiliary heat, or 2 stages of alternative heat. So it's going to also be compatible with standalone or AC integrated humidifiers and a standalone or heat integrated dehumidifier. And for the first time ever, the Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen is going to be compatible with ERV, HRV, exhaust, or supply-only ventilation. So super excited to be seeing that, because that's something that was asked throughout the feedback that we got from our pros as well. Once again, makes it up to date for 2024. So super beautiful new product, designed with the pros input and also pros in mind. Easier and faster installation and more control than ever before. And of course, it's going to have the updated intelligent features that provide both comfort and energy savings for the end user. So the customer setup process is going to give a more guided approach, right? Like holding their hand a little bit in order to explain the features in a really simple and digestible way. So this includes requested updates to that auto schedule feature. So with every intelligent feature, our installers are going to have to be able to adjust the advanced settings or let the intelligence do the work. So all the features that I talk about that are intelligent, you can enable them or disable them. We might be the product experts, but you're the expert in your customers. So you're going to know more or less, is your customer going to benefit from this? So those are the type of questions you should be asking when we're talking about if these intelligent features work for your customer. So keep that in mind. All the intelligent features are powered and updated by Google AI. So these are all designed to help save customers energy and also keep them comfortable. So you're going to also see that improvement in control and transparency. So prior to this thermostat, there was a feature called auto schedule. What this did is it learned your preferences when you interact with it. It made a schedule, and then it would try to change it in order to do energy savings without sacrificing that much comfort, right? Now we've updated that feature and made it a lot more transparent and also just better. Now it's called Smart Schedule. And what Smart Schedule does, still learns from the customer's preferences when they adjust, along with presence patterns over time, create that customer's customized temperature schedule. Then if it's enabled and you choose suggest, and I'll go through this a little bit later, it will suggest changes to their schedule in order to optimize that comfort and energy savings. So a smart schedule learns the most during the first week, but it's never going to stop learning. That's why I always tell people, interact with your thermostat, because the more you interact with it, the more you set the set points that you want, the more it's going to be able to accurately predict and help you about that comfort and savings, right? So, and I ask people, like, do you know me? Would you say you have an average knowing of me after knowing me for 10 days or 100 days, right? So same with the thermostat and also the smart schedule and this learning, right? It's going to get a better sense of your preferences and what you don't like also, the more that you interact with it. So especially during the first week of installation, encourage the customers to interact with their thermostats. So the thermostat is also going to visually indicate when it's learning from manual temperature adjustments. The customer can now also check the history tab in the Google Home app in order to see when a change was made and why. So they can also reset the smart schedule learning if their habits or schedules have changed significantly. The thermostat can then begin to learn the preferences from that point on. Smart Schedule will only adjust the set point or scheduled time of the ready-made presets, comfort, sleep, and eco. So think of it as like home, away, and sleep. So comfort is for home, eco is when you're away, and sleep is when you're asleep. So with the Smart Schedule, if you have the Smart Schedule enabled, you have two options to choose from, automatic or suggest. When automatic is chosen, the thermostat is going to automatically adjust the set point or scheduled time of a preset. When an adjustment is made, the homeowner is still going to be notified via the app, and they always have the power to revert that change if they don't like it. If suggest is chosen, the thermostat is still going to detect patterns of use and changes, but will suggest an adjustment for the homeowner in a notification on the Google Home app. The homeowner can then choose to accept or ignore the suggestion. If the suggestion notification is ignored or dismissed, the schedule will not change, and the thermostat will learn that the customer did not like that suggestion and keep it in mind for future suggestions. The homeowner can revisit the suggestion in the history tab of the Home app if they want to make any changes to that suggestion down the line. Any member of the household can accept or reject a Smart Schedule suggestion. So make sure that they have their notifications enabled for the Google Home app. That way the user gets notified of any changes or suggestions in real time. And of course, always, the homeowner can choose not to use Smart Schedule at all or opt in to use and adjust the starter schedule that they configured. They can always make changes to their schedule directly, whether Smart Schedule is enabled or not. I like to hit hard on that point because the customer always has control. I just want to make sure that we also drive that home with our customers, especially with this new stat. So speaking of dynamic things, even our classic eco temperature feature has gotten a lot smarter. Eco temps is the feature that's primarily used to help people save energy when they're away, and adaptive eco is going to adjust the eco temperature using the home's past heating and cooling performance along with the latest forecasted weather to make sure that the home can return back to the comfort preset quickly, with the target of returning to comfort temps in about an hour. So if it's a cold day, it'll choose a setback so that you don't have to wait long for your home to get cozy when you return. On a milder day, it can choose a deeper setback in order to maximize savings. So it's very smart in how it learns, very smart in how it programs itself. And the thermostat really continually adapts to the world around it. From weather to humidity levels, the thermostat provides dynamic, intelligent features. Natural heating and cooling is a feature that combines the outdoor weather data and a learned profile on how your home reacts in various conditions in order to be a lot more smarter about how to heat and cool, taking more advantage of Mother Nature's help. So for example, on a very sunny winter afternoon, your home may heat up a few degrees on its own. That way, your thermostat can pause heating and let the sun do the job. Temperature and comfort, as you guys know, are related, but not the same thing. So if it's 60 degrees on a January afternoon in dry Colorado, it might feel really warm, but 60 degrees on the same day in a humidity of San Francisco would be pretty chilly. Adaptive control adjusts based on what a set temperature actually feels like given conditions like humidity. So speaking of humidity, it can be an issue in a lot of homes, right? Too much can cause damaging condensation and even risk issues like mold. So the feature's humidity helper is going to allow a set of features that work with the specific equipment in your home in order to keep the humidity in your home at a safe and healthy level. So going back and expanding a little bit more on the ventilation compatibility, you can now use this for more recently built homes since newer building code typically requires ventilation. So a lot of the ventilation systems tend to just run off of a basic on or off kind of schedule. That means they do things like bring in outdoor air at the coldest part of the day when your furnace then has to heat it up. Smart ventilation feature optimizes the airflow by using real-time weather data in order to reduce energy waste. So it doesn't just focus on the efficiency, it's also going to ensure that the ventilation happens at the healthiest times, which provides more smarter and a more thoughtful approach to indoor air quality, which everyone, especially in 2024, is a lot more cognizant of and caring about. So for example, it can pause ventilation when there's something like a wildfire smoke impacting the quality of the air near your home. And of course, the thermostat's going to have, the HVAC monitoring feature, which is now known as System Health Monitor. The System Health Monitor and all of our stats are going to be able to help you identify issues in different heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. So it basically works as an engine check light for your HVAC system. So it looks out for potential problems, and if it sees that there's something off with, or different than normal, it'll send an alert to the customer, letting them know that something doesn't seem right. That way they can easily book a repair with their Nest Pro, or whichever contractor put in their Nest Pro on there and want to be contacted. But that is only if you input Nest Pro ID in that stat and if you opt into System Health Monitoring alerts on your end as well. So once again, this doesn't require any additional subscription, sensor, or hardware. And when you enter in that Nest Pro ID, the customer's alert will include the company's information, so it's easy to reach out if you have those HVAC monitoring alerts opted into on your end. And it's just a great way to be able to stay connected to your customer throughout the life of the system. It's also going to be able to provide helpful reminders, like when it's time for a filter change. So about 4 years ago, I used to not ever change my filters. I know it's terrible, but I used to live in California at that time, so I feel like I didn't need it as much. But here, and also with this filter change, I'm always reminded, depending on the hours of runtime, for example, when to change my filter, and it helps me be proactive in protecting my investment. So that's the kind of feature that the premium thermostat shoppers are looking for. Smart, sophisticated, not just a great addition, but actually helpful. And in fact, when we tested that feature with different shoppers, they told us just as much by ranking this feature at the top of their list. So homeowners want to be able to protect their investment, and I would argue that HVAC systems are top 5 after they bought a home. They just don't know how to go about it. So features like this also give them a sense of ownership, a sense of control of their home, and a way for them to stay proactive about protecting it. So when we talked about the sensor, it's going to be compatible with the new one, and which is one included in the box, as well as backwards compatible. So if they had some previously, they can utilize those as well. And they can actually customize their comfort by choosing one or more sensors for each scheduled preset, including the sensor within the thermostat itself. They have the flexibility to select different sensor for any preset on any of the day of the week. Or if their routine is a little bit less predictable, they can use a sensor manually as well. So for instance, I use my comfort preset throughout the day, which relies on the sensors in my office in order to keep it at a comfortable temperature if I'm working from home. In the evening, my after work preset uses the sensors in the kitchen, making sure that the kitchen and the living area are perfectly set while I can cook and relax. And then at night, it's going to average out the temperature across all my sensor, creating a more ideal environment for rest. On Wednesdays, when I'm in the field, my morning comfort set point only uses the kitchen sensor. And when I'm away, Adaptive Eco kicks in and it saves energy. And I can trust that it's going to come back to a comfortable temperature by the time I get home and trying to escape the Miami heat. So if my Wednesday routine changes, for example, Smart Schedule can recommend certain adjustments, which allow me to group different sensors together in order to suit my needs. So different, quick and easy installs is going to be a huge selling point of this stat, right? You can hand it off to the customer, or if, like I said, the customer is not home, you're able to easily just install it and leave. And it's configured the right way that it needs to be. And also it's going to have them returning back to you for business. So you have more compatibility with the new stat. And just in general, because now, keep in mind, this is only in the Google Home app. Prior to this, the previous generation required both the Nest app in order to install, and they could have migrated to the Google Home app, but it was not as seamless, right? There was more so two apps involved. Now this is all in the Google Home app. And the Google Home app really connects to thousands of products, which enable you to be able to expand your product and service offerings, along with unlocking a lot of different revenue streams and retain existing customers. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how the Google Nest ecosystem, along with updates, pertains to you and your business specifically. So Google Assistant and the Google Home app, like I mentioned, allow branching out into other services. They make smart homes a lot more cohesive and a lot more intelligent. So this enhanced functionality is not only going to improve customer satisfaction, but also encourage repeat business. So customers who experience the benefits of a fully integrated smart home are more likely to seek additional services and upgrades, which is going to provide ongoing business opportunities. Right? It can be for smaller jobs or larger jobs. It doesn't have to be like this massive thing. So you can either choose to bridge the gap, offer a service that they need right on the spot, or build it out to make something more complex usable. Right? Customers can invest all they want into hardware and complex systems, but if they don't have an easy way to control it, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this smart home system is not helpful. It's so complex. It doesn't work. When in reality, they just don't have an easy way to control all the hard work you did on the back end. So they want more seamless and more personalized solutions, and professional installers play a key role in being able to integrate Google Home and the Nest products. So whether it's lighting, shades, or home theater systems, you can create more versatile and easy setups to minimize user error. So it's not just about the product margins. So whenever I'm talking about Nest hardware, it's not based on the price. It's about the added value of your services. With Google Assistant enablement, for example, that's going to allow even more opportunities for upselling and add-ons that are immense, from security cameras to enhanced home automation. Voice control, for example, brings a whole nother level of personalization, which elevates the smart home experience and also simplifies everyday tasks. These all go into your customers using the products they bought. If they use them, they're going to find it to be more helpful and come back for more, rather than investing in this whole system and not knowing how to operate it. So the Google Home system itself is also going to streamline the installation, making the setup quicker and more efficient. This is going to allow you to be able to take on more job, boost that revenue, while reducing error and callbacks, which is going to lead to higher customer satisfaction in the long run. So by focusing on these services, not just the hardware, you can grow your business, increase the job sizes, and build stronger and customized solutions for your customers just in general. And Google Home is pretty popular, right? It's going to give you a starting place for many customers to be able to create that a customized solution that they're looking for. And they were already probably in their home in some way or another, right? It might be a Google Nest product, it might be a Google Assistant, it might be that they have the Google Home app downloaded because they're utilizing Google Assistant on a third-party device. So we're already there. Like if you go into a house and you pick out how many smart products there are, it's vast. And the amount of integration you can do within the Google Home app is even bigger. So makes it a super easy transition regardless of wherever you are. So we have Google Assistant for increased versatility, Google Home app for simplifying that increased control, and Google Nest to supplement current offerings with our hardware solutions in multiple different categories. So we basically have the audio and displays, we have more of the systems and controls, along with Wi-Fi as well. So combined with the easy process, we give your business not only the edge to stay competitive, but also doing it without that large of an investment. You guys install a lot more robust systems than these, right? But this is the way that it can bridge the gap into providing a custom solution that your customer might be looking for. So everyone wins in the process. The customer has a more cohesive user experience with their investment, while allowing the contractors to be able to address, resolve, and upgrade the customer's needs for the longevity of time. Now, going a little bit more into Google Home app. So We always are trying to make sure that we can deliver a great experience and with a familiar interface that lets you get everything done from one place. So consistently working on this platform. So over the past year, we have made some updates in case some were missed. So we refreshed the user interface for ease of use. We have favorites tabs where you can edit it so that the most used devices are popping up on that first page when you launch the Google Home app, and you can edit it as time changes if you need. We've also adopted the Nest app's formatting for viewing live camera feeds. So we've also added that on, so that way, if that's the first thing that you want to see, now you're able to do that. Expanding on the camera feeds, you're able to scrub through the video history with more of a timeline view and view the cameras via desktop now on the home.google.com. So on the desktop, you can also see all your cameras as well. So you can also click different multiple cams if you wanted it on that favorites tab. Once again, it was something that was asked multiple times, so I'm super happy that we followed through on it. So the new starters are also going to have more of a customized settings. So some of the routines and the starters are going to include sunrise, sunset, device state starters. For example, if our Nest thermostat reaches a certain temperature, a light can be turned on, or the doorbell ringing, for example, can cascade into different automations. And then the actions that are added are the actions that an automation can carry out. So some of that include ways to be able to control your compatible devices in automation, like, for example, arming security systems, locking doors, and adjusting the thermostat mode and temperature. Where we really tend to shine is taking the multiple routines, scenes, integrations, and helping them behave as one for a simplified smart home. Again, our customers are not that tech savvy, so everything we do on the back end, unless it's given to them in an easy, digestible, one button kind of way, we always introduce some user error. So our goal is to really simplify the system that you offer today and bridge that gap whenever we're necessary. We're not here to replace huge, robust systems. We integrate those systems with the Google Home app in order for your customer to stay connected to their home, making it more useful, maximize their investment, and in turn, satisfaction. Because the more they get use from it, the more they're going to come back and invest more with you. So for example, when it comes to home theater, for example, you have Chromecast that's going to allow more of a seamless integration. It lets you see all of your services in one place. You're also able to add on different Nest hubs and speakers, which lets you see cameras from anywhere and connect to different rooms effortlessly. Also, the hubs, for example, are going to automatically display the doorbell feed when pressed, making it easy to be able to add on security solutions to your setup down the line. So each device that you add on there opens up a conversation for the future to be able to integrate to. When it comes to lighting, for example, you can offer your clients the combined power of Lutron lighting systems along with the Google Nest ecosystem. So if you're installing a lighting fixture or system, you can use the Nest Hub Max and speakers as an upsell. This is going to be able to enhance smart lighting control and brings added convenience to their home setup, right? If you wanted to have a party time lighting, or if you want to have the music play or tell your lighting what to do, Nest Hub Max and the speakers allow you to do that while giving them a central place to be able to control the rest of their smart home. So imagine as the day progresses, customers can seamlessly control their home's lighting with simple voice commands and also create perfect ambiance for any occasion, setting it to adjust automatically. That's one of my favorites. I mean, the first thing I did when I came into my condo, I did all smart lights, voice control. I don't think I've touched a switch or a control in at least like a year and a half. So once they start using that voice control and they know how to utilize it, they're not going to go back, right? So that's a great way to be able to upsell with the Hub Maxes and lighting. So for Chromecast or Google TV, for example, the custom lighting can be triggered as soon as the TV turns on, which enhance the viewing experience, right? Especially for, let's say, like home theater. And also for added functionalities, you can also add blinking indoor lights when someone rings the doorbell, which is super helpful. That might, for elderly or hearing impaired, for example. So different ways to sell the same product to different demographics. Now, continuing with the benefits, specifically for being the Nest Pro, and in general, like Google is one of the most recognized brands out there. Google Nest themselves has about 6 times higher unaided brand awareness versus competitors. So you can use this as a way to aid and help and establish your own business as well. So whether you and I like it or we care about brands, people care about brands. People care about brands they know. People care about brands that they recognize. When you mention Google Nest, you're speaking their language. Homeowners immediately understand more or less the value, convenience you're going to be offering. Your customers aren't also just looking for convenience. They need your expertise to make sure everything is set up correctly. Sure, the customer can get it and try to set it up themselves, but are they going to be able to do more of the technical automation and actually make that device useful? No. If they did, they're only getting about 5%. I mean, this is just me saying it, but they're not getting the most use out of it, right? They're not programming it. They're just using it for the bare bones. So the service, the professional service and the ability is what you're selling. So, and being a Nest Pro allows you to be able to access the different resources that we have. We have the partner marketing hub that gives you resources to be able to leverage that brand, along with the system health monitors should you need it. You also get Nest Pro rewards for every single device that you install. So it also feeds back, right? We have a bunch of different rewards on that Nest Pro portal where you can use it to award someone that's doing a great job or to invest in more products. And lastly, like I said, that extended pro warranty for the thermostat alone, to be able to say, out of the box, if you didn't get it from me, you're going to get 2 years, versus if you get it from me, I'm going to be able to offer you 5 years. Or for cameras and doorbells, out of the box, you would get 1 year, but with me, you would get 3 years since you're a Nest Pro. So that speaks a lot of volume, and it's not something to leave on the table. So I'm going to wrap up our training. So thank you guys all again. I hope everyone kind of got a little bit of a feel of the importance of adopting these Google Nest products and how it pertains to your business, along with some of the key selling points for that Nest Learning Thermostat 4th Gen. So they're powerful business tools, not just accessories or hardware. That's going to help you close more sales, boost customer satisfaction, and keep you connected to your customers for future opportunities. So I hope that you guys can share your feedback here. This basically tells my bosses how I did. So if you can please scan the QR code, put in any comments on there. This is a way that we improve all of our trainings to make sure that they're relevant and useful and worthy of your guys' time. So please scan the QR code and let us know how we did. And I think we're going to do some giveaways. Right,
Yeah,
Mark?
John, I think you did a great job.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
And Ayaz, I don't know how your fingers are feeling, but I know you've been answering a lot of questions. I don't know if you've gotten to all of them yet. But yeah, really appreciate you guys not only going over the products, new thermostat, but just the advantages of being a Nest Pro. Very good presentation. So yeah, why not? Why don't we give away a couple thermostats?
Yeah.
I just went through and just picked a random one. And Ayaz, if you want to go do the same, go through and let me know what question you like, and you can we'll start giving out a couple thermostats. I picked Sarah, so I'll send you just some information of how you could get your thermostat. And Ayaz, you want to just pick one real quick?
No pressure.
No pressure. Go through one of these. You're like, ooh, that was a good one. I better think about that.
What?
You know,
Levi
Ayaz,
Gwen.
huh?
Levi Gwen. Or
Okay.
I'm
What
probably
was
pronouncing
that?
that.
This was how many temp sensors can be added to new thermostat? What was Levi's question?
It was about specific communicating and variable speed systems. Sorry, there's a lot that I've answered
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
can
questions.
answer. So the 5 systems that we will not work with are communicating, proprietary, high or low voltage, and stranded wires. Besides that, if it's a 24-volt system, we are compatible with them. So those 5 systems are the ones just overall wise, not talking about specific models, but we work with everything except the proprietary, communicating, high and low voltage, and stranded wires. Those are the only 5 we don't work with.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. So that was
In short.
what we put in the we would put in the chat as well. But yeah, there's definitely equipment. You know, their question was about also, hey, we hear HVAC people tell us, oh, you got to use my thermostat for the equipment. I'm like, yeah, they say that a lot. They don't always. Usually they'll know, but they don't know exactly how or what they can do to make it work. And so that's we were talking about how to some of the ways that we can do it. But we were talking about seeing if we could get them a thermostat to test, and that is a pretty easy way to do it.
There you go.
And also, when you're going through the installation flow and everything like that for our thermostats, there is a compatibility checker where you pop in the different wires and it'll spit out like, yes, this is compatible, no, it's not compatible, or double check. So during the installation flow, we really try to make sure that we can be hands-on with you guys. So you can take a picture of the old thermostat wires, pop that into the compatibility checker when it comes up, or it's online as well. You can bookmark it. But there is also different ways to be able to confirm and just double check. But that's also another tool that you guys can use, that compatibility checker when it pops up, because it pops up every time.
Somebody asked about mini splits, right? Did you answer that one?
Not yet. I've got it. I've got my.
Why don't you just answer them live, the ones that just came through? So you have to type. I mean,
okay.
Just to spare your hands.
Yeah. Philip Manning, is it possible to turn off the motion sensor on the thermostat? It's not, you can't turn it off entirely, but you can set it so that the thermostat doesn't use the motion sensor to determine and turn itself off, to turn the thermostat to eco. So you can say, only use my phones, or don't use anything, never go into eco.
Or just like prioritize a different device. Like if you have a Nest Hub Max and you want to use the presence sensor in that to give a more accurate reading, you can use that. That's why we always suggest to add more smart home devices, because more devices, more presence sensors, it's going to give a more accurate reading as to if you're home or away. And also adding home members as well. So you can choose which devices you utilize for that presence sensing. You can click them all or a couple.
Okay,
very good.
Perfect. So let's see here. Steve, I think that they need to get the Nest Aware Plus in order to have the 24/7 video. Let's see, as we're going down here. Well, these work with mini splits. So this is going to be one where you may require an adapter. Some mini splits have 24-volt connections on them already. Some and most will have a 24-volt thermostat adapter that you can purchase, or there's third-party ones that also work.
All right, I think we got it. Thank you so much, Ayaz, Jana. Poll questions, thank you for answering those as well. Looks like Nest thermostats are going to be a hit, because you said which products, Nest products you sell the most, Google Nest products you sell the most, Nest thermostats. Seems like most split between whole home audio systems and TV projectors for what most people have been selling on there. That's on this training. Yeah, and I do see majority of you out there sell Nest products less than 10% of the time. So hopefully this training changes that. So thank you so much, Ayaz and Jana, for your presentation, and we'll see everybody else on the next training.
Thank you guys so much. Happy early Halloween.
Yes.
Great job.
Yeah. Right.
Bye-bye.